Dog Rescue invited us into their home to talk about their organization. I sat down with Lena, Nikki, and their four-legged friends. Here's their story. Why CanineHaven? How did it all start up?
Tara, who's my oldest daughter,
Why CanineHaven? How did it all start up?
years ago went to the Dominican Republic for a wedding for her best friend. And she didn't want to stay at your typical 4-5-star hotel. So she ended up doing what they call outreach, where they will go into the different locations where dogs are fluent. And obviously in Punta Cana, dogs are all over the place. They would feed the dogs. They would give medication to the dogs that needed medication, instruct the locals on how to take care of the dogs. And she did that for pretty much the whole week that she was there.
Wow.
And when she came back, she just announced, she says, I want to rescue dogs. And that's how CanineHaven started.
Was there a mission or purpose at the gate?
We're mostly abroad. Most of our dogs come from abroad because the dogs are freely loose on the streets, and the population is growing and growing with these dogs unless there's control, and the governments in those countries, it's not a priority for the dog. The dogs are not priority. It's
Right.
either if the dog is a nuisance, euthanize it, kill it, beat it, or do whatever you want with it. So we want, and we have brought in most of the dogs to try and save them from these conditions and find them good homes here in Canada.
What countries have you rescued dogs from?
We've rescued dogs from Dominican Republic, Mexico, Nepal, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turks and Caicos.
Local? We take local
we-
surrenders.
Yeah.
What are some of the costs involved with rescuing dogs?
Depending on the location, we've been very lucky. Most of the airlines provide waivers for rescues to bring in dogs. So if we're able to get a waiver, the cost is minimal. We're looking at maybe $30 to bring in one dog in a crate on an airline.
Okay.
If we don't have a waiver, you could be looking at about $100 or so. We always try and help our partners in the different countries to alleviate the funds that they have to spend on the dogs in order to get them here. We ensure the dog has Bordetella, the HPPI, just because the dog is coming from a different country. There are different viruses that the dog can carry, and we just want to make sure that we're safe in bringing the dog here in Canada.
That's a lot to monitor.
Yeah.
Who runs the organization day to day?
Yeah, me.
That's a handful.
Yeah. Yeah.
What does a typical day look like?
I would get communication from one of our partners, whether it's Mexico or Saudi Arabia, and say, Lena, do you want some dogs? I have a flight arriving whatever date. So we'll do, for instance, the flight that's arriving on Monday. So Gabby, who is our partner from Backstreet Dogs in Mexico, sends me a message, says, I have a flight on the 29th. I'm coming in. I want to bring 20 dogs. Do you want some dogs? So then
Take this in March, we went to Mexico and we went to go see Gabby, and 2 of us brought 12 dogs back. So this is
That's
Gabby,
huge.
one little lady, bringing 20 dogs back with her.
Amazing.
So then she'll send me pictures. She'll give me a basic bio of the dog. And I will get in touch with Anna, who's our foster coordinator, and she will find foster homes. So she'll either post, we have a Facebook group for volunteers. It's a closed group that our volunteers belong to. We'll post the dogs there. She'll send emails to our volunteers. And I would say 99.9%, by the time the dogs are coming, we have homes for them.
Given that the volunteers are crucial, what do you look for in a volunteer?
Availability is our key point. We're not the last minute type of rescue. If we know that we're going to need someone 2 weeks down the road, we will let our volunteers know. We want our volunteers to participate.
For those watching who might want to volunteer, how would they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with us by sending us an email at info@caninehavenrescue.com, or they can go onto our website, and we do have the volunteer application that they can fill out online, and then we go from that point on.
So you've rescued several dogs. Are there any dogs that stand out?
A Mastiff called Dexter. He was a local surrender. He was in a crate in the basement, pretty much his whole puppy life. Never pretty much went out. And Tara's the one that went to pick him up. When she got there, he was probably 40, 45 pounds underweight for a Mastiff. He was just a year old. It was under a year old. He was skinny bones in a dark basement in a crate. The woman that owned him contacted us and wanted to surrender him because she didn't want him anymore. My daughter knocked on the door. She said, "I'm here." She says, "Who is this?" And Tara says, "I'm from Canine Rescue. I'm coming to pick up your dog." She says, "Come in." And the girl that's lying down on the couch says, "He's downstairs, go get him." So yeah, that was the poor dog. What happened with Dexter is he ended up going to a lovely home, Katerina, who still has him. She adopted him. And oh my God, what a difference. He looks like a Mastiff now. He's huge. He's gorgeous. She's taken lovely care of him.
What would you say the future of CanineHaven is? What would you hope for?
We would like to continue what we're doing, so bringing in dogs from abroad, helping surrenders, but we would like to also expand with high kill shelters. We find that a lot of dogs are euthanized not because of behavioral, not because of bite history, but because there's no room. There's no space for the dogs. They'll go in, they'll be surrendered by a family, go into a shelter, and if no one adopts them within a couple months, they're put onto a euthanasia list. And these dogs are healthy. They have no issues. It's just no one is coming up. Nobody wants them. Nobody is promoting them. So we're starting to get in touch with some of the shelters to see if we can help them in bringing in some of the dogs and getting them fostered, getting them vetted if they need vetted, and eventually finding good homes for them.
We're also working on becoming a charity this year. We've sent in papers to try to go from a non-for-profit organization to an actual charity. So we're hoping that goes through this year or maybe early next year.
That would be
big for us.
Thanks for letting us into your home and letting us speak your brain today.
Not a problem.
This is Darcy McMahon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.